My name is Shreya, and I have a question about an issue which was sadly not discussed in the debate.
Yes.
I think everybody over here is very well aware of the recent Manipur violence that happened with women. And I would like to ask, and during the debate, safety net was mentioned and everybody was talking about safety, better India. I want to ask, what actions is the government currently taking on the safety of women? And I'm asking this as a person who travels in the local train every single day and faces issues. What action is
Do you
government
feel
taking?
you travel by train every day?
Yes.
In Mumbai?
Yes.
Do you feel safe in the train or not?
No.
You don't?
Because no matter where I am, no matter which section of the train I am, in the female first class or the men first class, actually it's like the general first class. That is where I travel. I come across people and I don't feel safe. I never feel safe in the train because I always have to be alert, as if I'm in a war or something like that.
Okay.
I always have to be alert and be careful about my surroundings and what's happening.
So what's your
around.
question?
My question is, what actions is the government taking so that us women and girls don't have to be so alert on the time like we're on the battlefield?
Fair enough. Very, very good question. Very, very good question. Who wants to take it out of the two of you?
I'm not for the government. He's got to defend his government.
No. 1 minute.
That was the question.
It's very interesting. This country has been ruled by you and you. But women are still feeling unsafe in 2023. Mr. Sinha.
You're exactly right, Shreya, and it's a terrible tragedy that our mothers, sisters, daughters, everybody feels so unsafe in India, and particularly in northern India. I think it's a terrible, terrible tragedy. Shashi and I have lived around the world, and I can tell you the kind of oppression that women feel in India cannot be compared anywhere around the world. The physical violence, the kind of way in which women are treated, it is absolutely ghastly, and I'm completely and totally against that. Now, of course, there are many, many laws that have been passed in Parliament, in legislative assemblies and so on to protect women. The Honorable Home Minister just introduced yesterday in Parliament a complete revision of our criminal procedures, our penal code, etc. And as he correctly said, the first section deals with women and children because it's so important to give them safety and security. So we are passing the laws. Unfortunately, and this is where, again, as elected representatives representing millions of people in our constituencies, we have to be alert and vigilant. The laws are there. The police stations are there. We have to make sure that every woman, every lady, every person feels secure every step along their commute, along their travel. And that can only happen if local policing works well. So we have to work with our local police. We have to work with people in the thanas. We have to work with people on the patrols. And they have to absolutely be vigilant to make sure that all of our daughters and sisters and friends feel absolutely safe. And at the end of the day, it is our responsibility as men also to make sure that all of you are safe and protected at all times. Otherwise, it's a terrible tragedy for India. This is a shameful thing that we absolutely need to address.
We need to educate our boys.
Just a minute. I have in the audience Dr. Kiran Bedi. Dr. Bedi, you've been a trend-setting policewoman. I want the mic to be given to her. Tell us this. This is a question being asked by young women today in Mumbai. Think about a young woman in any part of the country, perhaps even less protected. What is your message to the netas when young women feel unsafe in this country, even in a city like Mumbai?
Thank you. Thank you, Rajdeep. I think you know my answer. I've said this all the time in your debates. Every child is born where? Girl or a boy, where does he begin his grooming? Where does he begin his grooming? Is he born a criminal? He becomes a criminal. Why aren't women becoming criminals? Why are some of the boys becoming like that? Where is it beginning? The problem is, friends, in my mind, with humility, is parenting. Is the responsibility of the mothers and the fathers of their daughters and sons. Unless every family, every home doesn't take care of what they're bringing up, And then it comes back to the school. Two people are responsible for crimes against women, this primarily, where it's not getting stemmed. One is homes, where the girls are controlled and the boys are decontrolled. Girls are being restrained and being felt insecure कि बाहर नहीं जाना, और लड़के को कहना है जब मर्जी आना रात को. ये तो नहीं है. लड़की के लिए rules एक है. The one set of rules for girls, problem friends, therefore to be short and brief, because I'm not the panelist. But I'm very anguished. Anguish it's a social responsibility. And social responsibility begins from homes, and also begins with social leaders who are also the spokespersons. And it also begins with the media. Most of the time, and Rajdeep and I have had a debate, and every time there was a saying, I said, go back to parents. Find out whose child is this boy. Go back to the school. Whose student is it? Unless you identify failed students, failed teachers, failed parents, failed villages. Even panchayats have a very important responsibility. Municipal committees also have a responsibility. We can't put it only on the police, because police can handle how much? 2%, 3%, but not 70%. Not 70%.
Okay.
So it goes back to parenting.
If there's one 30-second message that you would give this one audience, I was hoping someone would speak on environment and clean air, which I hope will be the big challenge for the future, for the next 30 years. How do we ensure cleaner air for our young citizens? But what is that one thing, the India of your dreams? 30 seconds for this young audience. What's your message to inspire them? What's that one big challenge you think they have? Jayant Sinha, 30 seconds. Shashi Tharoor, 30 seconds.
Thousands of years of human history have taught us that freedom and liberty, which answers your question as well, which is everybody has the right to practice the religion they want, live the life they want. Freedom and liberty are the most essential qualities that enable countries to prosper and progress. And that's what we have to safeguard in India. We have to give you all the freedom and liberty to do what you want. We have to enable companies to thrive. We have to enable societies to thrive. And societies and human beings flourish when we create the conditions for freedom and liberty. And that's what's enshrined in our Constitution. That's what I believe in.
How many of you young people want clean air as one of your top priorities? Okay, there again you're seeing same-sex marriage, lots of hands raised. Clean air, lots of hands raised. I hope politicians will speak on these issues.
Well,
yes.
On clean air, as an MP, I've been running a round table at my own initiative for the last 8 years, calling in officials, stakeholders, MPs, doctors, experts to combat it, to advocate for a clean air policy and to implement it. So, I'm already sold on this one.
And I moved the private member bill for net zero, by the way, which is also...
But let me come back to this question that you raised. What lays us low in our society is one set of people saying that the others have no right to be who they are, and that if they can't be like us, we're going to beat them on the head. That's the most dangerous attitude possible in a democracy like ours, especially in a diverse country like ours. So learn acceptance, learn mutual respect, learn to live together, learn not to judge. If we can tell ourselves that we are not necessarily superior to the other person, we are different, they are different, we can learn from them, they can learn from us, and we can live together, we will create a great India in 2047.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we've seen over the last hour or so is what really is that great Indian idea of samvad. This wasn't so much a debate as two proud Indian citizens in public life exchanging their viewpoints. And the best thing I liked was this young audience, which was full of questions, which applauded at the right time and was not convinced at others. So long as this young India remains as vibrant as you do, I think this country will do well. I hope that in the future, many of you will contribute in your own small way or large way to public life. Most of all, I wish each and every one of you be good citizens, happy Independence Day, and celebrate the idea of India and being Indian.